All right, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Wealth is Health podcast. Welcome to the first ever audio only video. And the reason this audio only is because I'm on a trip to New York with my family. I'm just not in the best scenario or the best space right now. I look kind of raggedy. So,
Wait. Let me say
what?
something.
Don't
I
make
hope you
fun of me,
know when
please,
you
man.
first. No. Not even that. When you intro the
Yeah.
video, it definitely froze you
Stop. Oh,
for
well, I
for
mean,
a
I'm good
second.
on my side, though. Like, we still
Okay,
got
yeah. I
that
just
local
wanted to make
audio.
sure.
Hold on. In fact, let me just make sure this. I'm not too loud, right? I mean, hello? Oh, yeah. Oh, but yeah, either way though, this is our first audio only episode, and we're gonna have to try to make it a little quick, because, like I said, I'm visiting family and I gotta go do family things, unfortunately. Or I mean,
That's
fortunately,
crazy because I have mad updates.
that's crazy because I feel like you just said you couldn't do what you wanted to do before, but that's good that you have
Yeah,
a.
I can't do the
Oh,
the
but you have
the
the clip
lesson thing
ready.
that we want
You
to
still have
do.
the clip ready, right?
Oh yeah, always.
All right. So I'll start with it then. So I'm gonna do some updates on last week's or last whenever we had our last episode's updates. Basically, I want to work on some branding for Wealth is Health and my personal business. I actually got a shipment of sweatshirts in. I think 7 or 8 people bought sweatshirts off of me, which I didn't have planned. I didn't sell it on purpose. They just want to get sweatshirts, so I was like, all right, give me $35 and I'll make you a sweatshirt with an embroidered logo on it. So I got all the sweatshirts in. I still have to make the logos for it. I have to still have to like embroider and everything, but I got those in, which is pretty nice, and I could show people some stuff, so that's pretty awesome. Wealth is Health. I still have that same logo. I've been pretty focused on the actual business logo and making sure I can get that embroidered consistently in the consistent place on a sweatshirt. But as soon as I'm done with that, I'm gonna focus on Wealth is Health and start making us some like nice sweatshirts or shirts and stuff. So that's what's gonna be pretty exciting. Video production stuff. I don't know if you saw my Instagram, but I posted like a video I shot, like a random video I shot in this gym that we went to while we were in New York. There's a bunch.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah,
it.
so I'm getting pretty, uh, I'm getting pretty excited about I guess the ability that I have to shoot this stuff. I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but I do feel confident with bigger projects now that I've done a lot more video projects. And that was actually all shot on my iPhone, not even my camera. So I'm pretty excited.
Wait, who was in the
That was my
bag?
cousin. Was he hitting the?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to
He
you,
was,
bro.
what? Let me know because
I'm
he's not
not
a boxer.
gonna.
He's not a boxer.
I was confident in your video skills, but I wasn't really confident in his
No,
form.
I knew his form was. I knew his
respectfully,
form was off.
respectfully.
I knew his form was off.
Well, some of it was cool, but it was just certain combos. I was like, all right, bro,
Nah, I agree with
all
you
right, bro.
because he doesn't know how to box. He was just hitting it. Like we just saw gloves there. We're
Yeah,
like, all right, let's do it. But even I knew I was like, I know this is not really how you box, but we're just gonna have fun. That's probably why I wasn't the one. I mean, I have to record the video, but even my brother was there. And I was like, nah, let's
hmm
just make it. He just looked like he was fast. I was like, all right, this would be a cool video.
yeah. So that
That was a
that
cool
worked
part.
out. That worked out.
But if you haven't seen that, you can follow me on JRJ Imaging on Instagram. I'm gonna keep posting like that type of stuff. But I'm glad I've been staying true to my goal of being consistent on that platform to post. So I'm putting like basically all of my projects on that platform. It's great. In terms of editing with Final Cut Pro, I finished another project for this brand called Campus Thrifts, and I've been working on that one probably for the past 2 weeks. Such a long project and process, but it looks super good in my opinion. I really think that's the hardest video I've had to edit, and I think I did the best job with that one. Especially considering the fact that it was someone else's project and someone else's idea, and like we were editing with each other. Like he came over to my place and we were just editing the video for an hour just to make sure we were like on point with what we were saying we're going to be on point with. And then he left. So I was definitely not stressed, but I had like strict guidelines and I followed them. I think I did the best I could do on that one. So that's awesome. And then in the future for plans for video, I'm working with a realtor. I really don't want to say her name, but I'm just going to tell you, Noah, that it's someone that Eli's been working with before and I've worked with before. And she says she wants to make a reality TV show, and I'm like, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that. I don't even know what she really expects me to do.
Wait. This is the lady that that you've been getting the bag from?
No, no. This is the lady.
All right, hold on. I'm confused
I
then,
oh wait, I can show you a
because from
picture
my understanding,
because we're not gonna be able to.
well, I can't see it on here because it is janky ass photos, bro. I can't see anything that's going on. But what I was gonna say
Yeah.
was, I thought you signed an exclusive agreement with some lady, and that you couldn't work with anyone
So I
else.
actually did sign the exclusive agreement. Well, I haven't technically signed it yet, but I plan on signing it. But I talked to her, right? And basically what she was saying is that she doesn't care about the people in like South Kingstown, the people like in like I guess mid Rhode Island to southern Rhode Island. She said that
Hmm.
she has specific names of people she does not want me to work with. So I have to
So you get to keep all these contracts that you already
yes.
have secured.
Exactly.
Oh
But
dang!
I told this the one who I'm going to sign the contract exclusively for. I'm like I'm going to I
Hmm.
told everyone else just so you know, I'm gonna work with this lady. She's legit. I'm sorry, like it really is just business,
And
but
this is the
this is a
priority.
priority. So I booked all my
Yeah.
Fridays are gone because I'm gonna be working there every Friday from like 9 o'clock to like whenever the sun goes down, whenever we can't record anymore, and I'm good with that.
Did you tell them? Did you tell them why you prefer to work with this lady over the other
No,
people?
I didn't tell
And
him
do you
that.
also want to tell them? Did you also want to tell them that you were ready to drop everyone
I
else
was
for
ready
her?
to drop everyone else for her. Yeah, absolutely. I was ready to drop
Let's talk
everyone
about
else
that
for
and
her.
why.
The reason is because this other lady who I'm going to be working, I'm working with them all now, but this lady who I was planning on working with over everyone is just more established. She makes me feel like she cares about my time and she respects my time. In fact, she was
And
and
you.
me and she was supposed to pay me like $100 for this like side project she wanted me to do, and she didn't pay me like right away, right? Um, and she like messaged me, she called me actually, and she was like, hey, what's going on, how you doing, I just want to let you know I'm gonna pay you. I absolutely didn't, like, I don't want you to view me as someone who doesn't pay the people for their time. I just got a new phone and I'll get you the money tomorrow because whatever. And she gave me an extra 25. So she definitely like showed me that she like very much cares for the service that she provides. That's not something I've seen a lot with the other people I've worked with. And
And before that, she was paying you like on the
on the
spot,
spot.
like
Yeah,
right after the
exactly.
shoot, right?
Right after the shoot, before I even got home, I was like, "You're kidding me." And I know she's like, not
Yeah.
to say that she's like good for it, but I know she has like the resources
You know
available.
she's rich, bro. Just say it.
Basically, yeah. But she's got the
She's
resources to,
rich,
yeah.
yeah.
So she knows what she's established, and like I'd much rather work
This
with an
man tried
established
to
person.
say it all
I'm trying
fancy.
to
Oh,
say like
she
in a
got
better place.
resources. Yeah, she got
She's got
money,
money.
bro. She got bread,
She really
cuz. What are
does.
you talking about?
But the reason,
but tell him.
because yeah,
Go
because
ahead.
I was saying like I wouldn't like stop working with the other people. If they had paid me the same thing like right on time, whatever, I'm not gonna stop working with them. But because I've had problems with them paying before, it was just kind of annoying. Like even with this other lady who I'm working with, I was like, so I told her I'm like I'm not gonna be working with you anymore. To be honest with you, like the contract is null and void. I basically told her, she got mad about it. She was like, we signed a contract already. I said you didn't pay me, so the contract is voided. So I don't have to do anything. And she was like, oh, why didn't you request the money from me? I was like, are you serious? I didn't even respond to that because I was like, I literally just didn't respond to it. And she just kept texting me like, okay, you know what, I'll send you the money now, blah, blah, blah. But I was like, come on, man. Why didn't I request the money from you? Just give me the money. Like,
Yeah, you requested
exactly.
it when you you
Yeah,
sent her the
that's exactly
contract.
what it is. I requested when I sent the contract out.
When you did the
And
work.
and it seems as if you didn't read it and you just kind of gloss over it. And that's the type of stuff that I'm pretty annoyed at. But now I'm going to record with her on specific days. Like, I'm going to record with her on like Mondays instead. And I kind of just have to be a little careful about that because next semester, Mondays are better for me to work with the priority client. So I'd much rather work with the priority client on Monday. So I'm going to have to switch around the contract and work with her on like Fridays or honestly, whenever I'm free. I don't know yet. Um, but yeah, so that was kind of like my mindset there. I'd much rather work with this other client. Even if I had to just work with this primary client and get no other work, I'd be fine. But I sent out a contract to the other lady, right? The one who I originally was gonna drop, not drop. I was gonna drop her work because I was working with the priority client. This is so confusing for the people
Yeah, I feel
listening.
like next time we gotta start
Like A
using
and
like
B,
like fake
yeah.
names.
All right, I'll use.
A and B. Oh
Well, A and
no.
B is like easier. I'm so bad with names that I'd much rather you say like one or two.
Patricia
No, dude, I can't. Like I can't follow
and
that, so I'm
Melanie.
not gonna do that. I can't follow it. But all right, I'm just gonna use client A and B. Client A is a priority client. That's like number one. Client B is the second, the second priority
Yeah, we
client.
got to work on this for next
I
episode.
know, we really do.
But okay, okay.
But basically, I told client B um, that if she doesn't, like, I sent her a contract. She read the contract. She wants to like, get it revised, like sent it back to me by Monday. But I told her like, all right. She gave me an initial down payment of $300. I was like, cool. So that's really not what I asked for, but that's fine. And I put in the contract that
What did you ask for?
500, which is 1/4 of like the full price. I originally asked for like half of the full price, but like she said, she's like I'm paying my whatever. I can't pay it right now. I was like, I don't know. It feels like you just can't afford the services I'm providing for the time. Like if you want to make a whole TV show, it's not going to cost $10. Like it's not. Like come on, you got to be reasonable with that too. And then
Yeah.
right now I'm charging like $44 an hour for that because it's like 15 hours. And then it probably takes me like double the time to fully edit the videos. So 15 hours times well plus 30, so it's just 45. And if you just divide 2,000 by 45, it's like about $44 or something like that. I hope my math is correct
Hmm.
on that. So she paid me the $300 down payment. I sent, but that there was no contract attached to that 300. I just wanted to like make that clear. Like there was no contract attached to it until I made this new one, and I just included the $300. I said the down payment is um, it's not refundable, so she just can't get it back if she signs a contract. Which again, she just gave me the money without any contract backing with it. Anyways, she has to pay me 425 every week until the $2,000 is up. So it's approximately 4 weeks that she'd have to pay for. Um, and I said, anytime you miss payments, it's up to me to decide whether I want to continue the services or not, or if I just want to drop it. Because like I tell, like it's at this point, which is great. Time really is very much like money, and if I can squeeze in more time with this other person with priority with client A, I would much rather do that than work with client B. But if client B is still paying me 2K a month, that's great if she can afford it to make her TV show. And I'm still gonna put in obviously like the maximum effort to make it as good as possible. But those are just like the guidelines I have for this woman. So that contract starts December 6th and goes till January 5th. And I start with the client A on this week Friday. So for people listening to the podcast, it'll be like next week if this gets released next week, or I guess it would be like the last week Friday. Bless you. So that's how it's
Thanks.
going on with the legal stuff. What I realize though now is I seriously need to form an LLC or a sole proprietorship or something to get myself out of it, especially with all these contracts. I don't want to be liable at all. So I'm thinking about that. It kind of is like really annoying though, to be honest, to do all that without like I've been telling you, like I'm still working on my flight, like my pilot's license for drones, but it's gonna take a little bit of time since I'm trying to get through this last like it's basically final season for school right now, so it's like kind of like the not the last of my priority, but I just got to get through school and I can focus on the focus on it during my break, which is like a whole month and a half that I have. So that's gonna be pretty nice. And once I get that, I'll really feel much more legit. And then updates on contracts. I guess that really was the contract update. So that's how I am. That's how I stand right now. Video production, like
But
I should say.
originally, you were saying that client A at first was like, "Bro, you can't work with nobody else if you're gonna work with me," and you were mad quick to drop
Yeah.
everyone else.
No, yeah, it was.
I just want to
I
reiterate
was.
that
I
point.
was. And I still
Oh,
would be
that's real though.
if
That's
she
real.
ever just said like, "Oh, the people you're
If she
working with
ever
right now."
wanted you to wife her,
Nah, stop, please. Please stop.
okay.
Stop, please. Bro, she's gonna listen to this podcast one day and be like, "I just want to hear how yours goes," and I cannot.
If she ever said she wanted a partner in life with you,
On a deal, bro.
would you sign that
On a deal,
contract?
yeah. If she wants a partner on a deal on a property in Vermont, then I'm with that. Oh, I gotta mention that
Okay.
too. But yeah, that's the
Yep.
situation there. Definitely very, very happy and very good. Oh, I didn't. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about this part then. Right now, so I've been thinking about right now I'm living at school as a resident assistant. So for people that don't know, I just make sure these kids are in line. It's a super frustrating position. Kids are banging at your door at like 3 a.m. They're knocking on your door at all times. You got to deal with very childish people, which is crazy because these kids are all like low key the same age as me. Like I'm not even 21 yet. There's kids like on my floor who are 21, and they just act like children. So I've been thinking of going home for my last semester of school and focusing on this. I was gonna do this project where I renovate my shed and put everything, like everything business related, everything work related for when I start working at the job that I'm gonna work for, in there, and just kind of just have that as my space. And now I'm thinking really like I'm gonna make that decision, but I have to make sure I tell like my boss and the people I need to tell basically right now so you can start looking for a replacement. But it's kind of annoying. Like I do feel like a slight obligation to the staff that I have. Like I gotta like I feel kind of bad for leaving them basically. But then again, like a big piece of me does not care at all. I will probably never see these people again in life at all. Like I will never see these people again in life. So is it really worth it to keep these relationships? I don't even find.
Well, you never know because people always say like the biggest like benefit of like going to college is like the network that you create.
Yeah, bro. Like I don't know.
So I feel like that kind of implies that it's like you're gonna run into these people again at some point, and you like you're gonna have to rely on that
I just
network
wonder if
eventually.
like something in my last semester would have an significant impact as like the last 3 years I've been having at the school. I feel like I haven't met any.
Dang, imagine you meet
Yeah,
someone
imagine I don't
that
though.
you used to work with
Imagine
there.
I don't meet someone, and
No, no,
imagine I.
no, hold on. But let me run this play. Imagine you meet them,
Nah, you about to be stolen.
and they're like, "Yo, I mean, I would do this deal with you, but you know, you did kind of abandon me during senior year, so I'm cool."
Yeah, that's just not gonna
You know what I
happen.
mean?
Like I just know those people, and that's you know what's more likely to happen, bro. Oh, like what?
What?
Like you weren't at one of these mastermind meetings where we met this investor who needed someone to record a video, but because you had to be on
Nah,
call that night, you couldn't meet them. That's way more likely to
nah,
happen.
that's facts. But yeah, that's way more probable. But I'm just
Yeah,
saying, anything
I
can
know,
happen.
I understand that, but I haven't even been able to go to one of the conferences that you've had, and I've wanted to go to a bunch of them, and a lot of them just because like I'm in Kingston, it's so far away from where I live, so it's just like I just can't really make the time for it, or the commitment is a pain. So I'm thinking like
I'm actually going to another one in Houston
really.
in January.
Okay, see
Yeah.
what are the dates for that? Because I really want to come through to one of these things.
I don't know. I think it's the 22nd and the 23rd, but I'm
Okay, word.
going the 21st and I'm leaving on the 24th, I believe.
Okay, word.
And I actually have a friend that I met in Costa Rica
Uh huh.
that now lives in Houston. So I might come kick it with her for one of the days that I'm there.
That's actually fly. All right, well, see,
Yeah.
when I leave this position, I want to be able to do things like go on these trips, like even if they're sporadic. And I really think that I could seriously profit more if I like right now school's paying me $500 every 2 weeks, and I made 1,025 off of photography in November so far. There's only 5 more days, so but with contracts, like with contracts being signed, I technically make like it's around 3,000. So my goal for November was to make $2,000, but that's getting shifted because the whole contract situation, the whole deal, whatever. So that's getting pushed over to December. So I didn't technically meet my goal, but I guess did on paper since I had people signing contracts that were basically saying they're going to pay me 2,000. But I think I could get that number up to like 4,000 in December if I just keep doing the same thing, working with the same people. Like this one has to pay me a minimum of 2K, and then we'll see how the work with client A goes. But yeah, that's really why I want to be able to go to these like the same thing with the Wednesday events, and same thing with all these other conferences, even if they're in like Boston or those cigar lounge things you go to. I want to be able to actually go to them and not have to worry about like school or anything like that. But then the last update that I had was the call that we had last week. So me and Noah were on an Airbnb coaching call. That's crazy. We were just on an Airbnb
Yeah,
call.
don't
I
do
know.
that, bro.
With this guy who has a property. The difference between this guy and a lot of people who are in the Airbnb space is that this guy is doing it completely just because he wants a vacation home, not because he wants to make an investment property or he wants to continue to do this as like a means of passive income. So it's pretty nice to hear from someone who wants to be completely hands off, because for the most part the people I'm listening to are trying to be the company that manages these Airbnb properties, but this man wants to hire the companies to manage his Airbnb properties just so he can have like a place to stay when he wants to, but then also still have it be beneficial for him like financially, so he's making money off the property and he can also go chill there whenever he wants.
And that's how I'd want to do it too. Well, actually, not even really that. Like, I don't even necessarily care about like actually traveling there and like having it be my vacation home, but I want that business to be completely hands off
Yeah.
or as hands off as possible.
Uh-oh, I think they're back. But I was gonna say though, yeah, I think I agree with that very much, and I also think that um, after like reevaluating, I was like, this honestly seems like the best way to do it, to get a property and partner with someone like you and just do it like this, way easier, and
Wait, as opposed
as
to
opposed to
what?
becoming the property management company myself.
Oh,
Yeah,
co-hosting.
like as opposed to that.
Yeah.
Oh god. All right, hold on one second. I'm gonna move all my stuff up to the next room. The major takeaways was that he uses a property management company, which, to be honest, he didn't really even know much information about, which I found was crazy. He didn't know the name when we were trying to ask him for it, which I was actually appalled at. He says he's making.
No, not
I was
appalled.
appalled, bro. I was like, how do you not know the company managing it?
Dang.
But
Joe, what's going on?
all right, but he was saying that he was basically saying that he makes $20,000 profit off the property, which I thought was also appalling. The fact that he didn't choose a location based on like the best, like the most amount of travel to a location. He didn't pick it based off of anything other than the fact that he likes the property, and it was like, word, I'll just roll with this
No, but that's something that's actually so important though, and something I feel like I would kind of miss when evaluating a
because he
property because
likes
I'd
it.
just be looking at just
Yeah.
yeah, like I would just be looking at like or trying to figure out like the numbers and the data, but then it's like certain things that I would miss.
Mm-hmm.
Like I might just be like, oh, so it seems like in this location, like that's what's moving, but because I don't actually care to travel there, like I won't fully understand like all the things that someone that actually wants to travel there is looking
Yeah.
for. Because he was saying like he just likes to ski, so he's like, yeah, I just want to be somewhere
Or I can ski. It's
where I can
private.
ski.
He said it's
You know what I
private.
mean?
Yeah. People can't see you and
Yeah. So
everything.
he like he's basically the type of guest that he would be looking for.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. And there's a lot of him out there who want a vacation home.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah.
So that's the thing. But I feel like that's something that we're gonna have to take into
I know. I
account when
like
we
that.
go
It's just so
buy
yeah.
one.
And but the thing is though, like I would definitely want to use the location that we get at some point. So I feel like I'd also be pretty good at knowing like, yeah, this would be nice.
Wait,
Like
you go skiing?
I definitely do not go skiing, but it's nice to go
All
take a.
right, bro.
But it's nice to go
So you
take a
don't know.
trip out somewhere and like be like, oh, this is a nice place. Like the place is clean. There's enough beds here for me and my friends. It's like close enough to like
Yeah.
attractions where I can do stuff every day, type stuff. And hey, maybe I want to go skiing one day, but that's not really. I rather go
Yeah,
snowboarding.
so for the record, for clarity, I went skiing one time, never doing it again. I went snowboarding after, definitely never doing that
What?
again.
I thought snowboarding was better.
but
Yeah.
but no, like it was really fun. I'm just never gonna do either of them
What?
again. I'm just like I just gotta do them one time, you know what I mean, experience it.
I guess.
Great
All
memories.
right.
Went with really cool people, you know what I mean, had a great time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm cool. Not doing that again.
Dang, bro. Okay.
Shout out to y'all that love it though.
All right. Well, I'm the opposite. I haven't been skiing or snowboarding, but I want to try. And I think I'd be pretty good at either.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You should
Like I
try.
said, I will never do it again.
But I think you know what would have made it better for me?
What?
If the people I went with actually allowed me to, you know, take the little the little tutorial course or whatever.
Oh, they put you right on the
So I
black
can have
diamond.
someone yeah,
They
basically
put you on like the hard
when I
stuff.
went snowboarding.
Dang,
No, it wasn't the black
nah,
diamond,
that would
but
kill you.
like so the first time I went skiing, this is a whole side story, but I'm gonna tell it anyways.
Yeah, tell it.
So when I went skiing, I went to just some spot in like Exeter, Rhode Island. So it was not like, you know, the best skiing place in the world or whatever. But yeah, I wanted to take the little class thing, and then my friend was like, "Nah, bro, we just gotta do it to learn it." And that's that's why I didn't enjoy it. I
That's
feel
the
like
craziest thing
I
I've
feel like
ever
I
heard.
fell way more like times than I should have
He said, "You gotta
because
just
I
do
didn't
it."
have the proper education.
Yeah.
And then I went snowboarding, and it was even worse. Like, so I wanted to go on the little bunny slope thing, a couple times, so I can kind of like, what I mean, get my balance
Mm.
ready, like figure out how to turn and all that. So I did it one time. It was a failure. So I was like, whatever, like let's run it back. You know what I mean? Like I could do this all day. And once I get right, like I'm going for the big boys
Mm.
up there. Pause. So I did it one time, failed, and then this guy, which I just met him like literally the night before, but he was staying at like the Airbnb that we were all at. Like basically, my friend introduced me to these people, and that's who we were kicking it with. And then he was like, "Nah, bro, you just got to go straight on the mountain, bro. Like that's how you're really gonna learn." And I was like, "Yo, like I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Like
That's just
I don't
stupid.
think I can
That
handle it."
sounds crazy to me, but all right. Like dudes
Yeah,
tear their
I
ACLs
was
doing
like, I
this type
really
of
don't
stuff.
think I can handle it. So I think I would just prefer to be on the bunny slope for right now until I kind of get it together. And he was like, "Nah, bro, I'm telling you because I used to be like you," and like, you know what I mean, like, giving me the whole spiel
Yeah.
and all this. So I'm like, "All right, bro, whatever. Like, let me just try it, bro. Like, let me put my faith in this man." Never gave it, bro. I was stuck on that mountain for like a whole hour, bro. I kept falling, and then I kept falling like near the ice, so I wasn't even falling
Yo.
on the snow, bro. I was falling on that hard ass ice, bro. I had people like on the little what you call it, where they sit down and they're
The
like,
lift?
you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, they
They
had
were
her on the
laughing at
lift,
you?
bro. Yes, bro, they were laughing at me. That had some people kind of cheering me a little bit, like, "Yo, like you can do it, bro." I'm like, "Yo, I
That
can't do
hurts.
it.
That hurts the
I
worst when
really
you
can't
know
do
you
it."
can't do it and people have faith in you still. That's tough.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
So
I would love to go snowboarding with you. I'd love to see that because I don't know how to snowboard
yeah, that's what
either.
I'm saying. That's why I'm like, it was a great experience.
Yeah.
It really was a great experience. It was so much fun, but I'm just like, I just don't want to do
All
it
right, word.
again.
That sounds good.
So that's just for the books. That's all they say, right?
Yeah, one for the
One for the
books.
books.
But yeah, up to you now. And I don't hear them, so I guess we have some time.
All right, word. So, so yeah, my weekly goal was to talk to that guy that Joel had mentioned for the Airbnb thing. So knock that out. You know what I mean? And what I like the other stuff I've been doing is right now I'm learning about business credit. So when I went to that summit, like the real estate summit slash conference thing in Orlando, I met this guy Roger, who like basically brought me into his mastermind. So we meet on Zoom bi-weekly and all that. By the way, this guy, he's a multimillionaire. He said he was well into seven figures. Well into
I
seven figures.
know. What does that
Like,
mean?
let
Yeah,
me repeat
that's
that.
nice.
That means multi-million. But I'm saying if you're gonna say well into, you got to be up there, like almost eight figures. But yeah, so he wanted to have like the mastermind meeting about utilizing leverage, and he was basically saying like none of y'all should ever tell me because sorry, I got to give this context first. Basically, he wants it to be where like we can all kind of like come to each other to partner on like deals together.
Boss.
Um, yeah, pause.
Yeah.
Come together to talk about pause
Yeah.
to talk about like actually partnering on deals together, and he also definitely wants to like partner on like $1 million properties or multi-million-dollar like apartment complexes and all that. And he was basically like, "Yo, none of y'all should ever tell me that you don't have the capital to partner when you can utilize leverage." So he was saying how you can like invest um like using like lines of credit, but he was saying like especially with like business lines of credit and stuff like that, so it doesn't affect like your personal credit report, um, which was very interesting. So then I bought a course from him 500, who talks about how to get like a lot of funding with like credit. He more so talks about it on the personal side, but in like the membership and like all the courses he provides, he has someone that has a course on getting funding for business credit and business lines of credit. So I've been going through that course, starting to take some actions towards that. So I got to open up an LLC, but per the course, like there were steps that I need to take before I actually open up the LLC to hit like certain data points, meaning that like the bank is going to be looking for like specific kind of like things to check off to kind of validate that the business is
Legit.
like established in a sense or whatever. So yeah, basically I had to get like a business phone number. I had to create like a landing page, so like a website thing. Um and like a couple other steps. I forgot what all of them were.
Wait, for what?
But I'll talk about it again later.
A website for
Um
what?
for the business basically.
Wait, so what is a
Cuz he was
business?
saying so he told us to open a business
All right, here
consulting
we go.
business. Oh
That's why
yeah,
I
so
was
y'all
like,
can't
okay,
see.
yeah, that's why I was like,
Y'all
what?
can't see, but I put quotations around
Yeah, okay, that
around
makes
business
sense. That
consulting.
makes
I'm
sense.
not gonna explain why since we're on camera,
Yeah, okay, I understand. I
since
understand
it's
what
being
you mean.
recorded. But
Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
but the purpose is basically like I'm trying to get access to business
Yep.
credit, and like some of the benefits of business credit is what he said on the during the presentation or whatever was that typically you can get around 5 times like the limit of your highest personal credit line. So my highest credit line on a personal credit card is 30,000, which means that I could potentially get like 150,000 on like a business credit card if what he's saying is in fact correct, which I don't know yet, but I guess I'll find out
Hmm.
as I'm going through the process. But yeah, and then like with a lot of like those cards and stuff like that, like business cards, and with a lot of personal cards that I see too, they offer like 0% interest for like a certain time period, like 12 months or whatever. And basically, Roger from the Mastermind calls was like, as long as the interest rate that you're getting from investing is higher than the interest rate that you're paying, um, like the investment is worth it. But also, I was saying that you can also do like balance transfers to other cards and get like 0% APR for even longer. You can keep extending it. So, just as an example, right? Like, I know Santander, this is a bank. Uh, I'm not sure how local it is, but I mean, we have it in Rhode Island at least. It's definitely not national. It's a regional bank, I think they call it. So, they have a credit card that gives 0% interest for 2 years um, on balance transfers. But you do have to pay. Typically, it's going to be like a 2 to 3% fee that you pay upfront for like every balance transfer thing, whatever. Well, not upfront, I guess. Like they put it on the card that you're transferring the balance to, so you're not coming out of pocket for it like immediately. But yeah, and theoretically, you can keep transferring the balance over and over again
Hmm.
onto different cards. And with Santander too, like the card is called the Sphere card, so sphere like a circle kind of.
Oh, like the balance
You
transfer,
can have
but
as many of those. Yeah, right.
yeah, yeah.
You can have as many of those cards as you want, from my understanding.
Okay.
So you can just keep applying for those cards over and over again, and continuously doing it. As long as like obviously your credit, you need to be able to qualify for like the new cards and cards of a certain limit size so that you can like so that they'll allow you to actually transfer the whole balance over. But yeah, so I've been learning about stuff like that, and then also how to like liquidate credit cards because not every um not every transaction like allows you to like directly use a credit card. So him 500 kind of goes through some ways that you could
What?
basically go ahead.
No, I was
What are you
gonna say
saying?
you said not every transaction allows you to use a credit card. Wait, can you like what type of transactions? What do you mean? It's like
So that's what I'm saying. Like that was the whole
the store
reason I was
thing.
frustrated about like no, stores will allow you to use it, but like working with contractors
Oh,
for this
okay, okay,
property and
okay.
all that, yeah, like they typically won't like allow you to pay with a credit card. Like you gotta pay them with like a cash or check or whatever. Um and then when they do offer like credit card payments, sometimes they charge like an extra fee on top of it.
Do you know why that
It's kind of
is?
annoying
Like why they don't
because they have to pay to be able to process a credit card payment
okay. Yeah, and these contractors aren't like very established type stuff, right? So they got to keep all the pennies they can get.
usually. And then if you go to a place that's like established, like you're saying it,
Mm-hmm.
typically you're going to be paying way more for the service to
Tax you.
begin with.
Yeah,
Yep. So yeah,
that's a fact.
been learning about different ways to do that, which I'll talk to y'all about it. Once I have um, the full information. Um, but I will
Facts. Yeah.
say that as most people know, I guess about like him 500. If you know him, like it's definitely like
It's
barely
barely
legal
legal. Yeah, barely
ways to do these things,
just
which
legal
is
enough.
technically legal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just legal enough that you won't actually get in trouble. But you might not want to like announce like the news to the world because they definitely might shut that whole uh way to do things down. But I'll definitely talk to you about it after, Joel.
Yeah, but it is legal though. But yeah,
And I'll mention like specific stores where you can do certain transactions at.
word. That's some
Yeah.
that's some expensive information you're giving people. Just so you know,
Yes,
like
sir.
that's some
Yes,
crazy
sir.
information.
For real. But yeah, I would love to be able to do that because that's actually kind of like annoying. Like when an opportunity presents itself and it's like, yo, I mean, technically I have the bread to be able to take advantage of it, but it's like, yo, do I really want to sell this investment over here or that investment over there? Like I'd rather just kind of use OPM if I could or whatever, and then you like let the returns of from the investment actually pay off the debt that I'm taking out instead.
Yeah,
And that would be so helpful as we're like getting into other ventures like Airbnb and all that stuff. Because then, like when it comes to furnishing and all this other stuff, like if we have access to these like so much larger lines of credit,
it won't even matter.
and especially if we could like get the funding at like really low interest rates or potentially like no interest rate, that would obviously just be fire. So
I actually heard too that you can. I mean, people probably know about this already, but you can like pay for furniture and stuff, like monthly, like just like a monthly payment too. And I was like, yeah, if you
hmm
did that, then imagine you could bring like the cost, like your expenses from like maybe 3,000 to furnish to like I don't even know, probably like less than a grand, honestly, for financing everything a month, and then just have your property work for you. That'd be pretty cool too. But that's something
yeah,
for a whole
yeah,
other thing,
but
though.
this guy with Roger was talking about specifically when it came to like real estate investing, so like for down payments and things
Yeah, I
like that.
figured, yeah, it'd be win-win then.
I just mentioned furnishing as like another thing since we were talking about Airbnb, but you could essentially use the funds for whatever you
Yeah, that's
want.
true.
But obviously, it'd be smarter to use it for some type of investment that's gonna pay the debt off without you ever having to put any of your own money up. So you would essentially get an infinite return.
Oh god, word.
So just a little gem for y'all.
That really is
But
infinite return.
um yes sir. So some other stuff that we can talk about. Yeah, so I did go to that conference in Cincinnati. I didn't talk about it on here, right?
Nah,
Oh. Well, I went to like this fire community conference. So I think Joel has brought up the fire community on here before,
yes,
but it stands for like financial
independence retire.
independence retire early. Yep. The conference was called Economy. So it's like the word economy, but instead of like MY at the end, it's ME. I think I mentioned this part actually on the last episode. But yeah, so I was out there. Actually, it was actually really fun. I'm not
This
gonna
man
lie.
sent me his
So
whole
I
bill,
met.
bro. I was like,
Yeah.
yo. He's like, is that
Yo.
for the table,
Yeah, it was
bro?
crazy. And the lady like low key roasted me. So
Dang.
basically, I went to this spot called like the Melting Pot or whatever. So it's like a fondue restaurant, and they have like this like full experience that you can like pay for or whatever, where you get like 4 courses and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, but like typically, if any of y'all know me, it's like I really don't like to spend money like that. But because I was like traveling, I'm like, whatever, bro. I can do whatever I want.
So I could do whatever
So I
I
was just
want.
wilding out
Yeah.
and spend mad bread. Yeah, and the lady roasted me like before I left, because it's mad food. Because technically, the experience was for 2 people.
Mm.
Um, and I knew some people that were going because I took like a course on rental property investing before, and I bought that course from like kind of a very influential person within the fire community. Her name's Paula Pant, and her podcast is the Afford Anything podcast. If y'all want to check it out, but yeah, so she also like offered like mastermind meetings through like the course and all that. So that's how I met these people. I'm in a whole group chat on WhatsApp with them too. But yeah, and a couple people said that they were going, so they told me that I should go, and that's how I ended up going. But they didn't end up getting dinner with me that night for whatever reason. I think one of them was flying back or flying in like really late, and the other one I don't remember. I think he like went to some show or something like that. Yeah, he actually did. He went to some event. But yeah, so I was there by myself.
That sounds so sad. I was there by myself.
No, I didn't care. I like being by
Yeah.
myself, but the experience specifically is for 2 people or
Mm.
whatever. So it was mad food for just one person, and I was like, I was definitely slowing down like towards the end. Like, hey, bro, this is a lot of food. But like, I'm not gonna lie
Yeah.
to you. And then the lady was like, "Oh, well, I'm sure that you have like friends or something that you could, share it with." I'm
Wow.
like, "Yo, she's definitely doing a temp check
Wow.
on me
That's
right now. Like,
crazy.
yo, is this man really just a loner?"
Bro, she probably just wanted to eat food
But
with you. She said, "Can I sit down here real quick? Please. I know you got money like
actually,
this.
that's a
I know you got money like
that's a
that."
nice spin on it. But I don't know. I don't know if that's what it was. Well, I think she was kind of checking, like, oh, he probably has bread if he's gonna like pay for all this himself or
Yeah.
whatever. But I feel like she was like, he might just be a weirdo with money. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's why
that's
I feel
pretty
like she was
funny.
doing the temp check.
Yeah.
But anyways, like the more important part of that experience, which I didn't tell you this actually, but so there was some like light skinned kid that like worked there basically.
Mm-hmm.
And I was dressed how I dress. Y'all know how I dress, right? But yeah, so you know what I mean? Tim's on, hoodie, doing what we do. And this man was like, dang, like he was basically like, I wish that I could dress like that and still actually get respect.
Dang, that's tough.
Yeah, like I kind of felt bad, but I feel him though. But he was basically on some like, yo, like it's actually mad annoying because like I come in here, and it's like obviously I have to like kind of dress to impress like at work and all that. And then people see me outside of work like dressed more like how you're dressed right now, and they kind of look at me sideways a little bit like, nah, bro, like who is this kid? Like this
Yeah.
isn't the same, like you know what I mean? But he was saying even like with customers, like they wouldn't have kind of like that same experience. They wouldn't feel as though I guess he could actually do the job or whatever, or treat them like with a certain level of like quality. Um, because of how he's dressed, which makes a lot of sense, like relative to the environment that he's
Yeah.
in, like the restaurant industry and all that. Um, but it just had me thinking because for me, um, and I actually like kind of get certain comments about this, but I guess I have to explain this part first. But I decided that like once my net worth reached 100K, that I was like no longer willing to compromise on certain things. Like I'm not trying to like dress to impress or even act certain ways in order to impress other people. I'm like, if you don't like rock with me just because of uh
Home
like how
dressed.
I look or the way that I talk or whatever, then I don't really need to deal with you anyways. Because like the majority of the time, like I don't really need you to be impressed by me. I don't need really anything from you. Like even if you could present a certain opportunity to me or whatever, like I can just find another opportunity. I now have like the knowledge
Resources,
and the
exactly.
resources, as you like to say.
And the asset value.
Yeah, to be able to do what I want to do, regardless of whether or not someone wants to
Mm-hmm.
um, accept me. So that's just how I feel like moving. Um, but I understand probably like in his position, like I don't know what his net worth is or anything like that. Um, but I'm assuming that like that's something that he would kind of like want to strive for. So it's just interesting like seeing that perspective because it reminds me of like, dang, that was
I was
me
gonna say, yeah, until you
before a
decide to
six
make a
figure net
change to
worth.
your life.
Yeah, but I kind of feel away because like now certain people like look at me sideways as if I'm trying to like be something that I'm not just because I'm different from like how I was before. But I'm like in reality, like there wasn't
You like that the whole time?
like they didn't realize that
Low
I was
key.
only like
Yeah.
yeah, like
Yeah.
like this is how I this is how I truly was. Like y'all just didn't know because I
Yeah.
had to
It
move a
makes so
certain
much
way in order
sense.
to get your acceptance so I could get here. Now that I'm here, yeah, now that I'm here and I built the capital to do what I need to do, I'm just no longer gonna be like that. But it's just so
Yeah.
confusing for certain people to understand that difference.
Wow,
But
dude,
that's
I
something that
actually
I
like
actually
that.
wanted to talk about because
Yeah.
I
I like that.
like
That
hear
resonates a
comments
lot with
about
me. I'm
it.
not gonna lie. Like that kind
Yeah,
of
I'm
touched
like,
my heart right
let me
there.
address this. I'm like, let me address this,
But
bro.
yeah, no, that resonates with me though a lot because a lot of the reason I wanted to leave school, I probably would have left school like a while ago, but I was definitely in that same like I really want acceptance from people. I want to feel like I have like friends. I'm accepted at my school, but at this point, I don't really have. This is gonna
Mhm.
sound so sad. I don't really have that many friends, which is fine by me because a lot of the people that I would be
Oh
friends with, I
no.
just can't get over the fact that they're not striving for like the best that they can get outside of school. And for some reason that just makes me hit like a mental
Yeah.
block with them that I can't pass like a certain conversational level with you because you won't understand it and you won't care. And I just can't, I don't know. I just need someone to like help me get to that level as well. That's why I vibe so well with the mastermind group because that just makes so much sense to me. But when people are talking about like, and I still do like talk about clothes and
Yeah.
like fashion trend, not fashion trends, but trends and stuff like that. I'll still do that, but it's like very surface level conversations. So I feel like gradually my friend count has been drastically declining. And now I'm like ready to be like, all right, well now I can go home because none of the people at school are kind of stimulating me, and that sounds so weird. None of the people at school are like challenging me. Yeah, that was crazy to say. They're not challenging me enough to like to get to where I'm trying to get to. So I really might as well go home and just chill with myself.
Yeah.
That sounds so sad, but it's
Yeah, the
really
thing
not.
that's
I'm not
crazy
sad.
though, yeah, it does sound sad, but it's like now I feel like now I yeah, well now I
Liberated.
feel
Now I
or
see.
now
Yeah,
I how do you say it? Now I see
yeah.
like the
You
light
said
at the
that.
end of the tunnel. The see now
Yeah,
you messing me
yeah,
up, bro. The light at the end
yeah.
of the tunnel, I guess you'd say. In the sense that like even like not that long ago, because I just started going to like conferences and stuff like recently. But before that, and before the mastermind group got so big, like I was feeling that heavily, like, dang, bro, like it's mad annoying because um like
Yeah,
there's
bro.
just no
That's
one that
yeah.
can really like
That's like when we were talking
hang,
about
I
the
feel
loneliness thing. Yeah,
like
we're literally like a
mentally,
year, like a year
you know what
ago.
I mean? Like
Not like a
respectfully.
little less
Yeah,
than a
so
year.
it's
We were
like
talking about the lonely thing. Like it's so lonely, bro. Yeah, big
yeah,
time.
it's mad lonely, bro. So lonely. And it's exactly what you're saying. And I hate that. I hate that I feel that way in the sense of like, I forgot exactly how you phrase it, but basically like these
Yeah,
people don't
a
even kind of
lot of the
understand what
times.
I'm talking about. And it's like, and I kind of hate that because I feel like that that puts up a certain barrier between like me and even like
Mm,
some of my family members that I want to be closer to or whatever. But it's like because they're gonna ask me like what I have going on, and they're not actually gonna understand like anything that I'm doing, or they're just gonna
yeah,
think it's like extremely risky and I shouldn't be doing it, and I should just go back to school instead. So it's just kind of frustrating because it's like, yo, I want to be able to kind of like let them in and let
yeah.
them know
They
what's
just
going
don't
on,
care.
but they're
But
just
yo, one
not
of the
gonna get
most
it. That's the thing.
frustrating things that happened to me actually very recently was when I was first getting into this like financial freedom. Like, all right, maybe you shouldn't be spending mad money on stupid stuff and you should invest it type stuff. I was telling like everyone I knew at first, and that's when you were telling me like you
Hmm.
probably. I was getting frustrated, and you were telling me like you really are because I can't remember what book you were talking about. But you were saying once people realize that how the system works, they get very mad at the system and mad that people aren't like adjusting to the system. So I remember telling, I'm not gonna name who they are, but I remember telling this one
Yeah.
person like, "Yo, this is how it is," blah blah blah, and they're like, "Yeah, okay, that's pretty cool." And the person had like owned stock, and I was like, "Okay, like maybe you should look into the stock because the stock was given to them by their parents. It wasn't like anything that they were doing themselves." I was like, maybe you should take a look at the stocks and really understand like what's going on there.
Hmm.
And they're like, yeah, nah, not really. And I would like consistently trying to like ask them like, yo, you pay attention to your stocks, like how you looking with that? And the response wouldn't be something that like they clearly weren't into it. Very recently though, they came up to me like, yo, I took a look at my portfolio,
Hmm.
I switched some stuff around, I realized it's kind of good to make sure I'm ready for my 20s. And I was like, "You're not serious, brother. You're not serious." I probably told you this like a year ago, but like I remember you saying too, and I came to the conclusion that you just have to let people find out for themselves, and then they can understand it, even if you tell them it's not really going to resonate with
Yeah.
them. And when this person told me that, I wasn't like, "Oh, I told you so." Like I was more like, "Yeah, that's great that you're looking into it," because at the end of the day, I really am trying to look out for the best for that person. I don't care for, I guess, my pride with it. It's just more like, all right, I'm happy you're paying attention to that. You should continue to do that
Yeah.
type thing. But that frustration is definitely there when people don't kind of connect with the
Yeah.
truth.
I don't know if it was a book that I referenced. I
Was it
think
The
it
Matrix?
was just The Matrix, like the
Nah,
movie.
I thought it was a book that you
Um,
said.
I believe so. Or if anything,
Okay,
it
word.
was both. It was a book and a
Very
movie.
possible, but I thought that it was like something like you like quoted it. You're like when people realize like the truth, they get mad at the institutions that don't allow the truth to become apparent and like the system for making it. Yeah, do you remember that? Okay, because
Oh
like
yeah,
you
yeah. I
get
don't remember
frustrated
what
with the
book that
system.
was though. But there's a similar
Okay, well
quote.
yeah, the Matrix.
There's a
Yeah,
similar quote
that
in The
does make sense.
Matrix, the movie,
But
the
that's
first one.
crazy.
Yeah, but I was gonna say like to turn it on a positive note. Like recently, my experience has been like completely different with that. Like recently, I've actually been
I've
connecting
noticed.
with a lot more people
I've noticed.
that are about this like financial independence. Like, yeah, it's dope.
Yeah.
Like, so now I'm a part of like all these different
That's good.
masterminds. I'm like, it's actually kind of hard to keep up with, to be honest. Like all these people, but like I said, like from the Orlando like summit thing or whatever, like I'm in a whole mastermind group with them, and we meet bi-weekly on Zoom to talk. And then when I went to this trip in Cincinnati, like first of all, I got a lot closer to like someone in the group, or actually two people in the group, that I went with. Like I was already cool with them or whatever. Like we met like
Hmm.
bi-monthly basically on Zoom. But now like we're actually cool, and like I basically talk to them every single day.
Hmm.
Like we have a whole group chat that we're way more active in. As well as like other like
That's
people that
awesome.
we connected with out there, which is dope.
And I was gonna say real quick
Yeah,
that
bro, it's
it's
fire.
it's cool to know that your what you've done up to this point has allowed you to be able to do that. So for example, you took that trip to Cincinnati like not off a whim, but you said you had time like that your work was giving you off, right? So you could just make that trip because you know you have so much in the not in the bank, but you know you're good for it basically. And that this trip would benefit you enormously. So
Yeah,
yeah, I can just go take the trip wherever I want. I can just go. It's just some of the freedom. Yeah.
yeah, and I booked it literally like 2 days before.
Literally,
Like
yeah.
I was
It
leaving on
just
a
it gives
Friday,
you
and I
so much
booked it on
freedom. Yeah,
Wednesday.
it's amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that
So
is
so
actually
many
really
people
cool
can't
to
do
be able
that.
to
So
do.
many.
I'm not gonna
I
lie.
would say a majority of the people in the US
Yeah,
can't do that right now. So that's awesome.
yeah. So this isn't in terms of like wanting to brag or whatever, but this is just in terms of like being able to appreciate like everything I've done like up until this point. But yeah, that was dope that I was able to do
Exactly.
that and spend mad money at that restaurant and just be like,
Hmm.
I wasn't even prepared like to rent a car.
Be like,
Like I
nah,
thought I
like
was
let
just
me
gonna
just rent a
Uber
car.
everywhere, but then the Uber prices were like extra taxing out there, and I was like, whatever. Like I
Hmm.
guess I'll just rent a car right now, like on the spot at the airport. And it really wasn't a problem. So like being able to do stuff like that is really fun, and the fact that like while I was out there, I got to connect with all these different people, and not even just like connecting with people that like I still talk to this
Hmm.
day, which we still have to talk about that like a specific person, but like I got to meet like a bunch of the
That's
podcasters and
sick.
stuff that I've been listening to for years now, like since 2017. Yeah, I finally got to like meet them in person and like shake
That's
their
sick.
hand or
Yeah.
dap them up or hug them and whatever. Yeah, like
Crazy.
have real conversations with them. I'm not gonna lie though, I slacked because
Oh, yep.
so I met Paula Pant, like I said. I met you don't know them, but I'm gonna put you onto them. Well, maybe you do, but
Hmm.
their YouTube is called Rich and Regular.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna put you onto them. Like so, another dope thing was that I got to actually see like other like financially independent or at
Yeah,
least like
there we go.
financially black people doing financially
Was that are
well
those
like
people the
out
people
there.
on that
You know
you
what I
said
mean?
Rich and regular or something? Yeah. They're black?
Rich and Regular, yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's awesome. That is
Yeah,
so
it's a
awesome.
black couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, out there getting bread, yo. That's what I'm saying. And it wasn't just them. Like it was a few other people. Like some lady in Nasima. I haven't heard of her before, but she had a really really cool story. This guy from this podcast. It used to be Paychecks and
Hey, these names
Balances.
are good.
I think it's now called
Oh, that one's not that good. Yeah.
like the
Wealth is
Mental
hopefully better
Wealth
than that.
podcast or something like that.
Paychecks and bounce, that's fire. Yeah.
I mean, Paychecks and Balances was cool though. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, so people like that, like I actually got to like
Hmm.
really sit down and like talk to these people for real. But I did like because like Rich and Regular, they're like, oh, like do you have what they say? Basically, like, do
What,
I have a
bro?
podcast or something like that? And
Why?
I was like,
Wait,
nah.
why?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I definitely said
All
no.
right.
I don't
I
know, bro.
hate
I
these
just wasn't ready for
problems.
the question, bro. But
Yeah.
I should have been ready because I wasn't. I wasn't like I wasn't dressed normally. Like, I mean, I was dressed normally for me, but like not for like a lot of people there because the majority of the people in the fire community, and it is like a known thing. It's like older white men that all
Yeah.
have like tech jobs or whatever. And I was in there with like
Yeah.
a whole
Yeah.
jogger set. You know what I mean? I had Tim's on the next day. You know what I mean? Hair twisted up, representing. But yeah, it was cool because people had kind of like brought that up and how like it is like a lot more acceptable there because um I don't know. I guess like the people in that community are just cool, and the fact that they had like um
Yeah,
representation for us, like I said, just seeing other like black wealthy people and knowing that like they can
and it
still talk
doesn't
this way
matter.
or dress this way and
Yeah.
dance this way and like
Cause yeah,
still
but it's
really
also
get
because
respect out
every
of it. Yeah,
yeah,
it doesn't matter. And people
how
don't realize
power
how
that
much
is.
that actually
Yeah,
like how
that's
people,
huge.
yeah, like people don't
Yeah,
understand
that's
that. But I'm like,
huge.
bro, this is what I've
That's
been waiting
huge.
for my
That is
entire
huge.
life, bro.
That's huge, man.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was telling you, like,
Mm.
to kind of, well, I have two more things to close it out. But I
Hey.
actually met this queen from Wakanda, aka Atlanta. If y'all don't know, Atlanta is basically Wakanda. Like, it's the epicenter of black wealth in the United States, at least. Um, but yeah, they really get money out there. But this lady, I don't even know how old she is, but she cannot be that old because she looks pretty young. Um, so I'm gonna assume that she's in like her 30s, but I have no idea. But she retired in 2014, like she became fire as they call it in 2014 through real estate, and I think she has like one property like on Airbnb, maybe two. Um, but yeah, so I got to connect with her, and I actually have. Dang, this is actually a gem for y'all. People were actually roasting me about this in the group chat with the people that I met out there because I was like, we were relating it specifically to like they had a speed dating like breakout session which
What you
I didn't
say, bro?
participate
Yeah.
in. Um, but people were talking, yeah, people were talking about what is it? Someone had said it to me like, oh, like if you think about it, you kind of like you would have like a lot of competition here because everyone's kind of like already getting to their bag, like everyone's making money, they got investment properties or whatever. So it's like, what kind of makes you special here versus like being out here, like with the regular
Yeah, it's
regulars,
just
like there's
easy.
not a lot of people that really do what I do, so you get to kind of have, yeah, like you're more unique kind of, whereas you're just normal here. Um, but I was saying that that's why I'm trying to be intentional about like understanding like what I bring to the table, like what kind of value I have. And that's not just in terms of romantic situations because I don't like I'm not really looking for anything anyways, right now at least. So but to me that
Hmm.
applies in just like relationships in general. So whenever like I'm going to a conference and all that, and even a networking event now, it's like I want to be very intentional about like knowing like what am I looking for from these interactions, and also what do I have to bring to the table, like to add value to these people's lives.
Wow, they really
Um,
said you're regular now.
but to bring it back to that
That's true.
queen,
Yeah, but yeah, but that's a
wishing
different
regulated.
type of
Now I'm
regular
playing.
though, because like everyone's saying, everyone's financially independent. They don't have to act any way for anyone anymore. So that's really their true selves, or they could portray their true
Yeah,
selves if they wanted to.
and I am exaggerating a little bit though.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah,
obviously not
yeah.
everyone
But
there is
you're
like
aspiring to be
fire. Like
fire.
I'm
You
not
understand the
fire.
concepts of
You
fire.
know what I mean?
I would hope. Like I
Yeah,
really would
exactly,
hope that you
exactly.
wouldn't go to conference, and not understand what
Dang.
it's about. Yeah,
Yeah, not understand
that's true.
anything.
That's true.
But you never know. You could just get invited or whatever. But yeah. Anyways, so the point was that so she's into like real estate and Airbnb and stuff like that too. And I'm obviously like I'm interested in Airbnb, like short term rentals. So like I could potentially get game for her about that. But then it's also like, well, what do I even have to offer for her to even want to like have that
Mm-hmm.
interaction with me to kind of put me on game? And she doesn't really
Mm.
know about like stocks and crypto, which I know not a lot about, but like more than the average person probably about. So I actually have a call with her set up for Monday, like a Zoom call, um, to put her on game about that, and then who knows, like we
Have a
can probably just
child.
keep it going or whatever,
That sounds
and
good.
kind of just exchange,
Yeah, through
chill,
text, right?
exchange information back and forth,
Exchange through.
about stuff
Oh,
like
through
that.
okay, and then through text,
No,
and then
through
like
Zoom.
over dinner. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, imagine.
Okay, so transition to the next topic. Now I'm playing. But yeah, so I also I was talking to her on Sunday, like when we were about to have like the mastermind with the group from
Mm-hmm.
what's it called from Orlando that I met, and I was just texting her about whatever it was, and then she was saying how like she's desperately looking for. like to join masterminds, and I was like, oh, funny you should say that
Yeah,
because I actually have one I'm
that's
attending at
cool.
7 p.m. if you want to join it. And I was surprised, but she actually did join it. And she thanked me after. She was like, nah, that was actually amazing. Like, that's cool. And then also, um, so one of my friends, I'm just gonna say her name, but her name's Nicole, but she was one of the people that I met out in Cincinnati. Like, I was on the rental property course with her or whatever, so I knew her beforehand, but that was the first time I met her in person. So she came out here a couple days ago, because she had like a layover or whatever. So I was chilling with like her and Jason, which is
Hmm.
cool because now it's like, yeah, these are kind of like my real friends. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, then that queen called me and she was talking to me about how the guy Roger that I met in Orlando came down with his girlfriend and
What?
had dinner with her in Atlanta
Yeah,
because they were already coming down there for whatever event. But it's like, dang, these people are really out here like making like real connections. So it's just dope to see that it's not just like these very surface level interactions. Like we really are all out here like truly connecting
that
with each
really
other and
is
like
cool
wanting
because
to build
yeah, that is
together.
cool.
So
That makes me want to go on my coaching call right now. Just chill
yeah.
with,
Um,
start exchanging information with them.
yeah, bro, it's dope. It's dope. But I guess
Yeah,
to
we're
kind of like
done.
close it out since we are kind of past the time a little bit. I was gonna say, so I had talked a little bit about kind of the transition that I made like once I hit 100K. Although I didn't go in depth about it, and I do want to go in depth about it on like a later podcast. But now I'm also like trying to figure out like who do I need to become to get
Mm,
to the next level now that I'm at like 200K. So first of all, like, what does that mean in terms of like who do I feel like I'm allowed to become now in the sense of like I want to know, feel, and experience that like I
yeah,
bought myself more freedom now. So how do I kind of like move like knowing that, um, just to give myself like a greater appreciation for it. And by the way, these numbers like they don't really matter. Like you can, um, like if you just want to be like more authentic, like you can choose whatever number or whatever metric you want to use in order for you to start acting on that. Like I could have done like, or I could have, yeah, I could have done some of this stuff at like 25K or 50K or whatever. I just happened to choose 100 for me personally, but whatever y'all want to do. um but yeah, and then also like who do I need to become in terms of just like in order to like accomplish the type of goals that I want. Because I don't think that I could, in a way, like this is just it's almost
hmm,
like semantics, but I'm speaking like in metaphors a lot. Um, but the way that I think about it is like the person that I am now is not the type of person that I need to become in order to like get to that next level. So the way that I think about it, this is metaphorically speaking, like I said, but it's almost like I have to
okay,
kind of like die and
yeah,
be reborn again, or kind of like recreate myself into this new form. um and that's a lot of pressure. Like, and but I feel like that's important because if your goals don't really like scare
yeah,
you, like I don't even know if I'm ready to do this, then I don't know
yeah.
if you're really
That's
like
true.
dreaming big enough, in my opinion. Like it should feel like I have no idea how I'm gonna do this,
Yeah,
but I'm
yeah,
gonna figure it out. You know what I mean? But going through that process, and the way that I reference it specifically as kind of like having to like die and be reborn is because there's a lot of stuff that you have to like unlearn along the way. So
yeah.
I'm probably gonna dedicate
To
like a
die
whole
and being
episode
reborn. Yeah,
to what I'm talking about right now at some point. Yeah, but it's like it's so weird. Like we had mentioned before, even in terms of just like index fund investing, how that's still a move. But in order for me to get to where I want to be,
hmm,
like
hmm,
I can't just do that and get there. So then I had to kind of like unlearn because all these people were telling me, "Oh, you shouldn't be trading. You shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be doing that."
yeah,
But now I'm like, no, like I have to learn these things in order to get to that level. And going through that process of like wiping away all these things that I learned before in order to like build a new like process or income stream, like
yeah,
that's really tough. That is not easy for a lot of people to do. It is like a very dramatic change, and that's why I reference it the way that I reference it. Um, but yeah, so over the next few weeks at least, or like probably to close out the year, I'm gonna be doing a lot of that, like figuring out who I need to become, and then also thinking just from a practical and like tactical level, like what are the moves that I need to make like in the real world in order to actually get there. But I always start from kind of like that mindset level first. So more to come on that later. And then we're still gonna have the
And
episode
hopefully we
on
have our
crypto
special guest
fundamentals
too.
next week.
Yeah.
Just so y'all know, we didn't
All
forget
right.
about it.
Awesome. All right. Well, so real quick then.
Yes, sir.
Goals for next week. I'm actually using that template that you gave me for the cash stream. Do you remember that? I know, dude. I know. We
We
need
have
to
to
talk
talk about
about
that.
that. So I'm
Yeah.
actually planning out my business structure using that cash like flow thing. I'm a little confused on how he numbers some of the stuff. So maybe you can go over with me at some point. But um, yeah, bro, I'm confused,
I
dude.
don't even know it
Yeah.
like that.
I'm literally
They just
looking
sent
at
it
it.
in
It's
the
like
group chat,
additive.
and
I'm
then
like,
I just
what
sent
is
it to
going
you.
on? Yeah. So, but I think
So we're gonna have to
that's
figure that
got to
together.
be a gem. Like that's crazy right there. So I'm gonna base my structure off of that. I want to make that next week, and it's also gonna help me get an idea of where money's going a little bit better. Since my income's kind of sporadic, and that's really kind of all I want to focus on. That in the course on this flight thing. And then how about you? Yeah,
Oh, in terms of goals for next week, so
yeah,
ideally, I would want to have the LLC
you'll
actually
definitely be able
open
to do that.
by next week. So that's I would say that as my goal. But I was gonna say real quick too that the more y'all kind of go along like your financial independence journey, or let me at least speak for myself. Like for me, and I think we said it from like day one. Like this is not actually like a financial journey for me.
Yep,
Like for me personally, this
hundred
is actually
percent.
a very spiritual journey, and that's why I use a lot of spiritual references along the way. But I just want to reiterate that point because a lot of people will kind of like misconstrue
It's
the
not.
message and
It
think
really
that
is.
this
It's
really is
not.
about money. And I'm like,
It's
it's not
not.
about
But
money.
but you can't do anything without
It's
money.
really
So
not.
that's really what the purpose is. All I get that so much, Noah. I get that so much. Like like money, big bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
because they
actually
don't
bothers me
understand
that
that.
people
That's really
say it so
why. I'm
much.
sure you don't hear it as much in the financial independence communities
Yeah.
because they know. Because they know.
Yeah, exactly. In the financial
Yeah,
independence
because they
community,
know.
they
Yeah.
were talking about it a lot actually, about how it's not about money at all. So it's just interesting, like where different
Yeah,
people's
that's why I
like
need to live at home,
head
bro.
is at. I guess it's
Nah, yeah, facts actually,
I don't
boss.
know if I have to
That's
say
why I need to go
pause,
live at
but
home so I can be by myself and not by myself, but yeah, okay. All right, awesome. Then that concludes our first ever
right.
audio only podcast. We'll hear back from you. If you made it this far, thank you. You really are real
Yes,
ones.
sir.
You really did tap in, and we appreciate that. We'll catch you on next week's episode. Peace out.
Facts.